Congratulations player 1. You have achieved max level.
You did it. You spent all that time grinding those trash mobs, spending all those stupid talent points, redoing your tree over and over and over again. But you did it! You're here. Welcome to Max Level. I'm your host, Blake, and thanks for joining me today. Well, thank you. Thank you. Really. No, thank you. Thank you. Alright. Before we get started today, go ahead and let's pop those energy drinks, get your Doritos ready, and let's take a minute for the prayer for a great gaming session. Alright, thank you, DJ Caz. Alright, amen. I guess we're ready. I don't want to ever start a show complaining, but I'm going to today. I canceled Xbox Live. Well, let me start from the beginning, I guess. Last year before last, sometime or another. Anyway, Xbox started offering the Family Gold package of Xbox Live, which worked out great because I was playing, my wife was playing on the Xbox, both my kids were playing on, their Xbox, and it didn't make sense for me to pay, what was it, $60 a month for just my gold subscription when I could get a whole family pack for $100 for the entire year. So we signed up for it. Well, I ended up selling my Xbox, which I've talked about on earlier episodes. And it finally ran out, or was getting to the point to run out. So, I broke the bad news to the kids. And I'd heard just other people, other shows, reading forums online of people trying to cancel their Xbox Live Gold subscription, and what an absolute pain in the ass that is. Well, I don't know, maybe I didn't want to believe it. So I go to cancel it. I look around online at Xbox.com for a way to cancel. There's no clear way to do it. But they have a FAQ section, so I look at it, and one of those is how do I cancel Xbox Live Gold? So I look into it, and you go to this page, you go to your account management, and you click cancel auto renew, and it's as easy as that. Well, alright. Sounds like a piece of cake, right? Well, I follow their directions step by step. I open Xbox.com again in a new browser so I can run them side by side and follow the directions to cancel it. The box they're telling me to click to cancel the auto-renew doesn't exist on Xbox.com. Or at least it didn't when I was trying to cancel. So I postponed it for a few days. And I finally got an email the other day saying that, hey, we tried to charge you again for Xbox Live and we can't. But don't you want to keep your Xbox Live Gold, right? You don't want to lose this. And no, that's okay. I don't even have an Xbox anymore. But I go back again just to look at it. And I'm on the verge of calling them because I really didn't know what else to do. So I go back again and I look. And all of a sudden the button's there. Cancel auto renew. So I cancel the auto renew, and hopefully that is the end of that fiasco. But I have just the whole pisser of the entire thing is Microsoft went through this bullshit change. Now, understand you want to keep people secure. That's fine. But the amount of bullshit you have to go through now for your account. You got to know your name, email address, a password, hey, you got to log into Xbox.com. Well, is this your password? Well, we're going to send a 5-digit code to this email address, and now you've got to sign in with that. You put the code in, and then you can sign in. And it's just, God almighty, what a pain in the ass. So, I mean, part of me is really glad to be done. At least, I'm going to miss the Xbox. Let me not go too crazy. I'm going to miss the Xbox. I would still like to have an Xbox One eventually. But my God, I'm not going to miss shit like that. The constant, here, what's your email? Oh, you need to change your email. It's been 6 months. Change your passwords. No, thank you. It worked just fine before you started all this security shit. Maybe they learned from PlayStation and decided they weren't going to let this happen, a security breach happen on the Microsoft side. But God almighty. And if you've had to deal with this yourself, or you have an interesting story, I'd love to hear it. So you can send it to the Facebook page. The Max Level Facebook page, or Metal Shark Studios at gmail.com. And I'm getting a message. Oh well, anyway. And let me know, because I'd love to know. Like I said, I've looked at Reddit forums and seen people having a terrible time, and if you've had a terrible time, then share it with me, and I'll share it with the world. Alright, let me kill that music there, because it's time to get serious. Now, with Microsoft, with the problems with that over, I was perusing Steam over the weekend, and there was a game I used to play on the Xbox 360 called Happy Wars, and all of a sudden it's on Steam under the free-to-play section, along with a game called Ascend Hand of Kul, K-U-L, Cool, I don't know, Cool, one or the other. Anywho, I guess that's right. Both of these games appeared on Steam as free-to-play. So I downloaded Happy Wars because I did like it on the 360, but there was a problem. They had bad. It was also the first game to be free to play on the 360, but they had bad server side issues where you couldn't connect at all. Yeah, I know. It was a brand new game. You couldn't connect. Shh, okay. So they rectified that. They had that taken care of. And I thought, well, it's got to be fixed, right? For the Steam version, for the PC version, right? No, there's still random disconnects. You'll get in a match full of people, and it'll disconnect you, or you'll be halfway through a match, and you get disconnected. So it's yeah. I know it's not getting any better. It's not as bad as it was. Okay. Alright, but anyway, the game is still worth checking out. There, you can level through the single player to get higher level before you jump into multiplayer, so if you're having connection issues, that's still a feasible way to play the game. It may not be the best way, because the multiplayer is really a lot more fun, and that's one of the reasons I was really happy to see it on the PC now. So it's there, Happy Wars and Ascend Hand of Kul, or Cool. Alright, now that I got my morning bitch session out of the way and did tell you what I was playing, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, I busted in the kids' room over the weekend to find out what the kids are playing on their Xbox. They got some of my old games in there, but I wanted to see what they were doing. So when we come back, I'll give you a full report on what the kids are playing. I know that's exciting. We'll be right back.
Got an hour? We'll waste it.
If you've heard of Ocarina of Time at all, you know that this is one of the greatest games ever made.
It's pronounced Ocarina?
Yeah.
I thought it was Okra of Time.
That explains why you didn't like the game as much.
This isn't your creepy uncle's comic book shop. This is the Geek Cave. Downloading a new episode each month on iTunes and Podbean.com.
Okay, and we are back, and it is time for What Are the Kids Playing? Yay!
My favorite flavor of popsicle is dick!
Well, that makes me uncomfortable. Alright, so the kids. It seems like all kids And I asked this question to the parents, what is so great about Minecraft? Because I've watched them play it, and they're like little zombies in there when they're just going nuts, hammering down the trees and doing God knows what. But at the same time, it's like, digital Legos, and I've seen the kids create some absolute unbelievable things on there. So they're still playing that. And that has been the best $15 I think that I have ever spent, was buying that game for them, because they have had more fun with that than any other game in their bedroom. My youngest seemed to be a little more enthralled with a different game. They wanted The Sims 3 Pets here over Christmas last year. So I picked that up for them, and she was always a big Sims fan on the PC. So she really seems to be enjoying that. Now both they're both daughters, so I don't have any little Call of Duty players in there, little Spartans running around, so they seem to be pretty exciting girl games for them. But she was, she likes to make the family on The Sims 3 and make her sister real fat for some reason. She's a brat. But anywho, so there is your super exciting report on what the kids are playing. You're welcome. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's move forward. E3 is on the way. It's just creeping. We're just right on the cusp of E3. Just right around the corner. To bring you the news this week, sitting patiently over behind me here at the news desk is Ben Monroe from ExpansiveDLC.com. So here's Ben with the news.
Welcome and thanks for joining me as we take a look at those gaming headlines this week. If you thought that with E3 being just a few days away, honestly, I'm so excited. I'm like a 5-year-old kid before Christmas Eve here. That the week's gaming news may have dried up a little bit, well then you could not have been more wrong. This week has seen a flurry of game announcements and leaks. Those PR teams must have been working some serious overtime. So with so much news to discuss, let's not waste any more time. First up on my list of announcements that caught my eye this week is Homefront: The Revolution. Homefront Revolution is a sequel to the original Homefront that was released in 2011 by THQ. The original Homefront in large part can be blamed for the downfall of the developer and publisher THQ, as its release was met with middling reviews and poor sales, which really is a shame, as it was one of the few big budget FPS titles to actually change up that FPS formula slightly and see you take the role of a member of the Resistance opposing those all-powerful foreign invaders. Well, Revolution, now being developed by Crytek UK following their acquisition of the license from THQ, certainly looks set to continue this theme, taking control of the Resistance. This first-person open-world shooter takes place in Philadelphia, 4 years since North Korea took control of America. Through both cooperative and solo play, you'll be tasked with building up your own resistance and fighting your foreign oppressors, using guerrilla tactics, establishing bases, and of course recruiting your own fellow revolutionaries to help fight your cause. Crytek have certainly established themselves well. Previous FPS titles, such as the Crysis series. The Crysis games offered a variety of different ways to take on the enemy, and certainly encouraged the player to take the indirect approach when going about their business. Just think of what they'll have us doing when we take control of these rebel militia during this all-out guerrilla warfare. Freedom certainly seems to be a big theme in Revolution. Not only is it the thing that we're fighting to gain from the foreign oppressors, but it's also something you'll find in this rich and immersive open world. The world of Revolution is set to be a true, living, breathing experience, set between the ghetto-like Philadelphia and the Badlands, a red zone that surrounds the city, where you will form the seeds of your revolution. All of this powered by the CryEngine, I'm sure you'll agree, is a mouth-watering prospect. According to game director Hazit Zala, the world and levels of immersion in Revolution will inspire the players to fight for their freedom. Homefront Revolution is scheduled for release on the PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Mac and Linux, and will be appearing in 2015. No doubt will be shown more during this year's E3. The next game announcement that certainly caught my eye this week was Mortal Kombat X. This Mortal Kombat X is the next installment in the much beloved Mortal Kombat franchise. The announcement came from Mortal Kombat co-creator Ed Boon's Twitter account. An official announcement trailer was soon to follow. Now, the trailer, of course, depicts a battle between those two greatest of rivals, Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Further details revealed in the press release described a fully connected experience that launches players into a persistent online contest where every fight matters in a global battle for supremacy. And for the first time in the Mortal Kombat series, each character will feature multiple variations in outfits and movesets. No doubt this will change up the different strategies you'll be using for each particular character. Mortal Kombat is yet another game slated for a now very busy looking 2015 and will be released on the PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PlayStation 3 and the 360, with more details to be shown during E3. For a gaming series that saw the beginning of those gruesome finishing moves, just how gruesome will those finishes be with the power of the next-gen systems behind them? I'm not sure if I'm all that eager to find out. There's just one more thing to mention about Mortal Kombat X, and that's a few days after the actual announcement of the game, Ed Boon did confirm that 2 entirely new characters would be coming to Mortal Kombat X that would be revealed during E3. Alright, you racing fans, start those engines. Sorry about that. However, I'm not sorry to hear that Turn 10 has officially announced Forza Horizon 2, the next installment to the popular spin-off franchise from the main Forza series. Horizon 2 will take place in Southern Europe. Man, I cannot wait to see those beautiful scenery on the Xbox One. And those twisted mountain roads? Man, just pure driving heaven. And driving heaven certainly seems to be Turn 10's intentions, as creative director Ralph Fulton said that Turn 10 are looking to make the Xbox One the true home for racing fans. Forza Horizon 2 will feature an all-new weather system and the Drivatar technology, or I'm not sure how to say that, Drivatar technology that we saw in Forza 5 will be making a return. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Forza 5 certainly wasn't met with this praise that previous Forza games have received. So hopefully Horizon 2 will certainly be scratching that itch for those hardcore racing fans on the Xbox One. Horizon 2 has been scheduled for a release during the fall of 2014, and Playground Studios will be developing the Xbox One edition, while the Xbox 360 port will be under development by Sumo Digital. Okay, so for those of you who are out there who aren't quite ready to finish punishing yourselves with Dark Souls 2, will certainly be pleased to learn that the first batch of DLC for Dark Souls 2, the Lost Crown series, will begin with the Crown of the Sunken King. The trailer released by Namco reveals each chapter in the 3-part series. Crown of the Sunken King, which will be released on July the 22nd, followed by Old Iron King, released on the 26th of August, and then finally to round out the series, Crown of the Ivory King, which will see release on September the 24th. All 3 additional chapters will be available on the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 and PC, and you can grab all 3 right now under a season pass. Alright, so there's more announcements to come. Although the announcement of Borderlands, the pre-sequel, may have disappointed some fans who are eagerly awaiting the next full installment of the open world shooter series, the trailer release that details the release date for Borderlands, the pre-sequel, will certainly turn those frowns upside down. The Moondance trailer, made in collaboration with Harmonix, the studio behind the popular Dance Central series, shows the cast of Borderlands, even Claptrap, all trading space lasers and, various other cannons, guns, explosions, grenades, and what have you, in zero-G on the moon. But then, of course, they just have to stop and take a break for a serious moonbreak dance routine. If the game itself is anything as crazy as the trailer, it's going to be hard to keep our feet grounded in reality. Borderlands the pre-sequel will be released on Xbox 360, PC, PlayStation 3, October the 14th. Of course, with so many great games flying our way, you want to make sure that you have the correct platform to play them on. So, Microsoft is certainly making that easier by no longer bundling the Kinect with every Xbox One, so, it doesn't hurt your wallet quite so much when you do actually purchase the box. But it seems that Sony are set to go in the complete opposite direction. Following a leaked image on the French edition of Amazon, Sony finally announced that the Ultimate Player Edition of the PlayStation 4 is a very real thing. What's so ultimate about it? Well, it just so happens to come bundled with the PlayStation Vita. The ability to stream games between the PlayStation Vita and the PlayStation 4 is certainly a system seller for many people, myself included. And Sony are certainly trying to capitalize on this popularity by combining the two systems in one bundle. The listing on Amazon priced the bundle at €580, which works out at approximately £470. But that isn't saving you a whole lot if you were to buy each system separately. With a July 4th release date set for France, the bundle hasn't been confirmed for other territories as yet. Alright, so enough of these new announcements. Why don't we check in with a game that we already know about? Or because clearly there is so much more to know. Polish developer CD Projekt Red, who they themselves previously in the week had been praised by Mr. Barack Obama himself, held a live-streamed press conference through everybody's favourite digital retailer of those classical titles, goodoldgames.com, to offer up more details about The Witcher 3. The stream was scheduled to begin at 7 PM, yet it seemed that CD Projekt Red simply couldn't wait that long to spill the beans on what they had to show us, as artwork of the pre-order edition of the game, including those pre-order bonuses, was leaked hours before the stream. Now, these bonuses include a game map, the official soundtrack, a pack of stickers, and an instruction manual. And the box art itself had a picture of Geralt looking very angry indeed on it. During the stream itself, CD Projekt Red revealed that The Witcher 3 would be getting a release date of February the 24th of 2015 and will be coming out on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One and the PC. Both a standard and collector's editions are currently available for pre-order, and the collector's edition contains everything that I previously mentioned that comes in the standard pre-order edition, as well as a hand-painted figure of Geralt battling a griffin, a 200-page art book, a nice shiny steel book box, a massive collector's box to keep all of your sweet Witcher 3 swag in, and a collector's grade Witcher medallion. Now, pre-ordering the game through Good Old Games will also give you 2 beta keys to the Witcher adventure game multiplayer closed beta that will be coming out this summer. It'll also give you a nice little discount on the overall price of the game in comparison to some other retailers. We also finally got to see yet more gameplay footage. The Witcher E3 trailer, The Sword of Destiny, was shown during the stream. And man, this game simply looks fantastic. Gameplay-wise, graphically, the trailer had it all. Everything very impressive to show. And those of you who played The Witcher 2 will certainly be pleased to learn that Triss is making a return. I urge you to seek this trailer out, because nothing has me counting the days down to 2015 more than The Witcher 3, and this trailer certainly explains why. Interestingly, during the stream, CD Projekt Red also announced that Good Old Games would be getting its own independent gaming client similar to Steam, called Good Old Games Galaxy. Now, Good Old Games shares many features with similar gaming clients, like you'll be able to interact and share with community and friends. It'll also track achievements and such. But unlike other gaming clients, Good Old Games Galaxy won't require a constantly online connection. And of course, it's DRM free. Man, oh man, this week has simply been stacked with breaking news, and we haven't even gotten to E3 yet. Hopefully, this is because the developers and publishers alike have simply got so much exciting stuff to show at E3. They're trying to get all of this boring stuff out of the way. Of course, I'll be filling you in with E3 news, so be sure to join me for a summary of each of the show's major press conferences. Yes, that does even include the Nintendo Direct. And during the show, I urge you to visit expansivedlc.com, where we will certainly be keeping you up to date with all of the breaking news coming out of E3. Now, you can follow me personally at xbenblasterx, where I tweet regularly about all things video games, and of course follow at expansivedlc. You can watch the video version of the News of the Week by searching for Expansive News of the Week on YouTube. But for now, guys, I've been Ben Monroe. Thanks for joining me, and tune in for more News of the Week next week.
We're 40, going on 14.
Well, one
okay,
better.
Mike just had a heart attack. Did you hear that?
Oh, crap.
All we want to do is give a little back to the world.
Share my wisdom and wit with the world.
Oh, Jesus.
We're socially conscious.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like you should be punching your grandmother for that show.
We want to know how to look good.
Does this make my crotch look small?
We've got some great plans.
This is the Minority Report podcast division, and we're shutting it down.
So come join Joel, Pat, Josh, and Mike for 40 Going on 14, the weekly podcast that knows what you're thinking.
And this is going to be the show. Me and Mike talking and Pat just going...
We're done.
Coming soon, you'll be able to find us on iTunes, on 40go14.com, and on Blueberry Podcast Network.
Thank you, Ben. Again, that's Ben Monroe from expansivedlc.com. Those guys, they're working kind of like I was doing for a little while over at 9nights.net, where I was trying to do game reviews and what I'm playing and the podcast and all that at the same time. And I decided finally, I just want to do the podcast. A nice, short, and sweet podcast. So I'm very grateful that they were available to help me out with a news segment. You'll be hearing more from Ben next week with all the hot E3 news that's coming up. Okay, and as I said, I want to keep things short and sweet from here on out with Max Level. I want to get, just the right amount of information without tying you up for hours on end listening to me babble about video games. So let's get ready to close things out here. You can find this show as well as a plethora of other great shows at metalsharkstudios.blogspot.com. The Earwash is coming soon. I did the first test record with Andrew the other day for it. So it's coming. Hang in there. Stay tuned. You can also find a Skyrimatic podcast over there. So Michael, I talked to him about another add-on for the show. I do the production for the Roundtable segment on his show, which kind of grew into a wild thing. And I'm happy to see how interested everybody was in it. So that's there. That's on his feed at a Skyrimatic podcast. If you subscribe to his show, then you can pick up the Roundtable. And there's another side project that I'm working on to cram into Michael's feed. That sounds kind of gross. Anyway, so Earwash is coming. A Skyrimatic's there. Check those out. And as always, you can check out Max Level. To get in touch with me, just hit up the studio email, metalsharkstudio@gmail.com. If you got something for the show, I'd love to read it on air. And if you're not a big emailer, then like the Facebook page, the Max Level Facebook page. And while you're there, go ahead and like the Skyrim group, the Skyrimatic podcast group. All the links are at metalsharkstudios.blogspot.com. I guess I should mention that I've been playing some Saints Row the Third. I just started it, not very far into it, so I don't have a lot to say about it just yet. It's okay. It seems like it was hyped up pretty big. I'm ready to get to the hypey parts and see what all the fuss was about. But I've been playing some of that, So I'm gonna go now play some more and see if I can get Happy Wars to work. And I'll either be thrilled Happy Wars is working at the next show or be pissed. Maybe that'll be the rant segment if I don't get it to work next time. Well, alright. Well, thanks for joining me, everybody. MetalSharkStudios.blogspot.com. Check us out, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye, everybody.
Game over. Continue.
If you like this podcast, then consider checking out the other great podcasts at metalsharkstudio.blogspot.com. Also consider clicking the donate button while you're there. It would be really cool if you did.
Metal Shark Studio.